Get this man some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
A Blazers podcast.
Welcome back to Get This Man Some Help, where we eternally ask you to tell us, could this have been a phone call?
Or a text message.
Could this have been an email?
Yeah.
We are back. The Blazers are not yet, but they have skidded into the All-Star break, and they are about to kick off the second half of the season, last third of the season, as it were. Shann, we were riding a high, or I was, last time. You were being an adult in the room.
Yeah.
But, you know, to extend the metaphor from last episode, I was out on the playground having a good time. But the streetlights have come on, my friend.
Yes, they have.
It's time to go home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you say that. I've known that all along, but apparently in Blazeland, they think, no, let's keep the party going. It's a little pathetic.
That's right.
It's 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
You're in your mid-40s.
Yeah.
Your friends are desperately trying to leave. And no. Let's play more Yahtzee, guys. Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
No.
We haven't learned. You know, you're the last one in the friend group to learn that actually the one beer and go home is better for everyone involved.
Everyone involved.
So the Blazers have said, you know, hey, we're still going to push for this play-in situation. But what I want to kind of go back to is, you know, we were sort of like, I mean, there was a lot of positivity around it. We beat some decent teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then we proceeded to lose to the Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
And then we proceeded to go to Denver, where Jamal Murray had apparently read the article about how Toumani was quite the defensive stud, and proceeded to hang 1 billion points on us.
Well, so they played a back-to-back, the Nuggets and the Blazers. In the first of the two games, you know, Jamal Murray read the article, and then Toumani was letting him have it the entire first game, and Jamal Murray got kicked out. Like, he got so frustrated, he got the 2 texts and got kicked out of the game. Yeah. And that second game, to quote a semi-famous basketball player, he took it personally.
Yeah.
And he hung 50. If you'd have told me at the end of the game that he'd have scored 75, I'd have said that makes sense. Because he was absolutely doing everything he wanted to do, whenever he wanted to do it. And he was letting him know about it the whole time. Absolutely. I mean, it was one of those things that he might have actually, like, that might have changed the trajectory of Jamal Murray's season.
Yeah.
Like if I'm the rest of the teams in the NBA, I'm looking at Portland like, what are you doing?
You're texting to mine. Did you have to?
Yeah.
Like,
calm down.
Did you have to?
Yeah. Anthony Edwards is on the phone. Like, bud, you got to relax. I got to guard him in the playoffs. You're going to be in Cancun. I got to guard him in the playoffs. Lay off.
Yeah. Yeah. And it looked so easy for the Nuggets. It looked so easy.
Yeah.
And it just was.
Well, can I tell you why?
Yeah.
Because they're a good team.
Well, that's what I'm going to say.
The Blazers are not a good team.
That's what I was going to say. You it's like that first time where you are feeling yourself and you're saying to yourself, hey, man, I can hang with the adults. Like, I'm going to go to the dinner table and I'm going to debate. I know my stuff. And then the uncle or the aunt or whatever kind of sits you down and says, listen up. Yeah. Here's a long bit of history. You're not there yet. And that's kind of what that message was to me. It's like, we're not there yet.
No.
Totally outclassed. Yeah. I will say, Toumani, being the psychopath that he is going to take this, you know, he's going to ball it up into a tiny little marble and he's going to put it on his mantelpiece. And every day he's going to wake up, you know, just as Damian takes his one Pringle.
Right.
Toumani's going to go rub that marble. Just remember the humiliation.
He's the only one of those guys who's ready.
Yeah.
Capital R period at the end.
Yeah.
Toumani is ready.
Yeah.
He is ready. The rest of the guys are still catching up.
Yeah.
You know, and a few of them are close. Like Denny's getting there. You know, DeAndre, you know, maybe it could click, you know, and consistently. But out of all the, Toumani is ready to go right now. And he is impatiently waiting for everyone else to get their stuff together.
Yeah. Is there a team in the NBA where Toumani isn't an integral part of that rotation?
No.
Yeah. Every single thing. Boston could use him. Everybody could use him. He is that kind of guy. And you were totally right. He is there. He is ready. And he has that attitude. The cool thing is if that would have happened to me, I don't think I would have laced up shoes again. You know, I'd be like, oh, I feel so bad about it. I feel embarrassed. He's going to come in. He doesn't care.
No.
He doesn't care.
Absolutely not.
He's Dutch.
Goldfish memory.
What do they care?
Nothing matters. The only thing that matters is how I can torture you now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he's
I mean, if you're looking for like some silver linings, like Scoot had a couple filthy moves. He's looking like he's coming along.
Yeah.
In those 3 games,
he's getting there.
He's getting there.
There was an article about him, and I think The Ringer talking about like his dramatic turnaround.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to check that out.
I can't remember. It was one of the
recommended reading.
Yeah, one of those national publications.
And we're gonna turn to Shann, and he's gonna give us some book recs. Some articles.
Yeah, I mean,
we're gonna annotate it. I love
it. I can summarize it in a slight. I mean, I'm no Google AI, but to summarize it, it's he was young and now he's maturing. he's playing NBA basketball and getting better the more he plays.
When you read those articles, I mean, this is old man and yelling at the clouds territory for me. But why are there so many photos, pictures, graphics, the whole thing? It's like you're trying to get to the words. What is going? And then the substance is he's getting older.
Yeah, I mean, he's great. When he started, he had never played in the NBA.
Yeah,
and now he has played in the NBA, so he's getting better.
You want to know another thing I like about Scoot?
What's that?
I believe that he still went to All-Star game.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
I'm sure he did. Just to watch it, because he was like, I can't be in it, but this is where I want to be.
Yeah, I'm sure he was. Yeah, and probably didn't take as good a seats as he could have got. Probably punished himself a little bit. No. I'm going to sit. I'm sitting in the 500 section.
Yeah, punished himself a little bit, but then also
I'm going to pay for my ticket and I'm going to sit out there. Don't worry about it.
But he also charmed the ass off of some grandma that sat next to him randomly.
Yeah, of course.
Just chatting up.
Just absolutely, just chopping it up. Probably had an after party with Chester the Cheetah or whatever, like in that commercial.
He's going to have a great post-career as a cameo guy, Just being like, happy birthday to you, and you're going to be like, I feel it.
Yeah.
He wants good things for me.
Yeah. I think a motivational speaker is probably in his wheelhouse.
He still has the jacket with the jewels. Yeah, I'm wearing that.
He seems like the kind of guy who's already got a Scoot museum in his basement. Like he's probably already got the memorabilia hanging up on the walls, probably glass display cases.
Yeah.
Something
he's very chicken or egg, right? Because it's like he already has the signature shoe.
Yeah.
But like obviously hasn't done enough to get one.
Right.
But maybe he'll get that. I mean,
well, it's either going to look like a brilliant move, like whoever the Puma executive was, he's either going to get promoted or he's going to get fired.
Yeah. You know who wasn't attending All-Star game on their own dime? Ben Simmons, who couldn't care less about basketball and gets bought out by the Brooklyn Nets and says, where do I want to live? Los Angeles. Let's go.
Just falling upward. Just absolutely. In a team with arguably the best coach in the NBA right now, with pretty much no expectations whatsoever. Yeah. But he's in LA. He's not on the LA team with the microscope. He's on the LA team that people forget about.
Yeah.
And it's just all fun and games. Can you think of a charmed life?
Can you think of a more fun city to be young and making $50 million in?
Obscenely rich, especially compared to his sort of production.
Yeah.
I mean the Clippers are now paying something like $80,000 per assist or whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
he's just gonna be. They're gonna sub it in. Hey, 11 minutes, go wreck some stuff, and then come back to the bench. It'll be great.
Yeah, just don't even worry about it.
You know what? You don't need to shoot because guess who you have? We have James Harden. He's more than happy.
That's right. Yeah, James Harden, Norman Powell, who should have made the All-Star team.
Norman Powell.
I'm sure we'll get into the All-Star break, but
let's go there now. Why not?
Let's go there now. One thing that really pissed me off about the All-Star break is LeBron James.
Yeah.
Now, I understand he's LeBron James. I will make the argument that he is the best player of all time. I'm happy to make that argument.
Sure.
But look, it's your 20th All-Star game.
Yeah.
You're not feeling right.
Yeah.
But you wait to cancel until like 20 minutes before the game or whatever. Because if he would have said 3 days ago or 3 days before the game, like, no, I'm not going to be able to do it. He could have still participated.
Yeah.
Right. But then someone else could have got a spot.
Yeah.
I.e. Norman Powell, who actually deserves. If I'm Norman Powell, the next time I'm playing the Lakers, I'm going for 81. I'm going Kobe on them because what an asshole move to do. Like, what are you doing? I don't. And then he shows up in his street clothes. Like, what are you doing? We know you're the king.
Yeah. It's extremely frustrating on many levels. The All-Star game in general, and the whole thing. It sort of reminds me like this whole there's so much angst and hand-wringing about who is named and who is not.
Yeah.
and everybody, that's a snub for me. It's a snub. Okay, but then you show up and you don't do anything, and you just kind of trot around on the floor. And then it's like, so what were you? It's like that idea where it's like, I don't really want to go out tonight, but I'd love to be invited.
Right. Exactly right. Exactly right. You want to be able to say no. Basically, you want to be able to say, I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't make it tonight. But you still want you want to be able to have the choice.
It's horrible.
No. Yeah.
There's no effort at all. They're just. I mean, this is the same old stuff. And then this like 40. Listen, I love the TNT crew, but did they need to have like 50 different farewell things and Kevin Hart's just shouting out stuff that nobody can hear?
You never need Kevin Hart. Let me stop right there. You never really need Kevin Hart. If Kevin Hart's coming to your event, the shark has been jumped. Like, you just don't need it.
Yeah.
And this is my thing. I think, because the NBA is, we're losing fans. Well, this is one of the reasons you're losing fans, because it's all like, here's an event that ChatGPT put together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nothing that feels fun. Like, even the dunk contest doesn't feel fun. Like what felt fun last year? Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu. That felt fun. Yeah. That was, this feels like fun. This is something different. This is something entertaining. This feels fun. But this is all, there's many, many years ago, and I'm not sure it's still the same, but like something like 80% of the tickets the NBA sells are actually like corporate partners. They're like corporate owned or purchased tickets.
Yeah.
And I just think the All-Star game it's a corporate event.
Yeah.
I think the NFL has sort of accepted that with their Pro Bowl. Like, they're not even trying anymore. Like, it's just a corporate event. It's the event for all the beer distributors and corporate sponsors can have a weekend in Hawaii. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like a convention, for the NFL. Yeah. And I think that the NBA, they're kind of about that. They either need to turn it into just sort of a nakedly corporate event, and just make it sort of like Kevin Hart MC's 2 days of just absolute mind numbing. It's like if we could take threads. And put it on a basketball court. You know what I mean? Bring out Paris Hilton, bring out the Chalupa dog from Taco Bell, but whatever. That's fine. Have a mascot game.
Yeah.
Don't you know what I mean? Do a celebrity game, do a mascot game, do the skills challenge, and call it a day.
Yeah. And like there's just, I think that there's like this disconnect where they've sort of lost the plot about what the All-Star game is for. The All-Star game is for children.
Yeah.
So let's just keep that in mind. It's for kids. So like, have it earlier in the day. Don't have commercials for horror movies.
Right.
In the commercial breaks.
That's right.
If you're gonna have a dunk contest, have real NBA players that these kids know competing in the dunk contest. I don't care what you have to do. Pay them $3 million to participate. Whatever you have to do to do it. Because like you're watching, if you're watching Mac McClung and you're like, wow, he can really jump over a car and stuff.
Right.
His combine vertical was like 43 inches or whatever.
Yeah.
Shaedon Sharpe has recorded a dunk this year where he jumped 45 inches in a game.
Right.
Like, what could he do with that stage? What could Ja do with that stage? What could these people do? It's for kids. And like, have it like in a format that kids understand. Like, I was trying to explain it to my son. Oh yeah, they're playing to 40 points. But why are the up and coming star? I don't know. Like, it doesn't make sense.
No, it's really just like, this thing about it is everything has been so commodified. Like, it used to be those guys like Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Going at it as a point of pride.
Yeah.
Like, I'm better than you. No, you're not. Well, let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you watch those All-Star, like you watch an All-Star game from like 1987, 1988. It's like a conference finals.
Yeah.
They really want to win.
Yeah.
They really want to win. Like, really want to win. Like, you got Magic, you got Michael, you got they want to prove to one another, no, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
And you just don't. All respect to Mac McClung. Jumping over cars, that's crazy stuff. But he's not an NBA basketball player. Like, the only reason he has any sort of contract in the G League is because he's a, you know what I mean? Like, it's a sort of like money grab for the NBA.
Yeah.
And I just think like they've got like professional dunking leagues.
Yeah. Go watch that.
Exactly right. Go watch that. Guys who don't even really play basketball, they just dunk.
Yeah, or you could do something really interesting where you make a bracket out of it. You do, okay, we're going to do a professional dunker versus Shaedon Sharpe in the first, whatever. You can do like so much stuff, but you have to include actual players.
Yeah.
And like the effort thing, I know it's like such a tired drum that everybody's talking about. It's like, they don't try. And like, I just remember like when I was in Astoria as a kid, and we got Rasheed Wallace to go to an All-Star game,
Sure.
and I was just
Yeah.
juiced because I was like, this is our guy. He's
Right.
gonna be there. I'm gonna see him on the same team as these other players and stuff.
Right.
And Kobe actually tried, like, you know, and like Kevin Garnett was actually trying a little bit, and
Yeah.
there was still room for these crazy dunks and stuff. And
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
to watch the game-winning shot be like a Jason Tatum casually like jogging down the court
Yeah.
and like getting a pass, and like Albert, I think it was Şengün just being like, well,
Yeah, it's like practice. I mean, it was like less hot than a practice, like a shoot around.
we try harder in our pickup games.
100%.
Like
100%. And I understand like the NBA it's competitive and like, but here's the thing, like maybe it should be one of these things where they name the All-Star team, and there's an exemption. Like if you've played for over 10 years,
Yeah.
you get to come. You still get the All-Star title, but
Yeah.
just watch.
Yeah.
Or be like a coach or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to play because you don't want to play. And I understand like if your knees are bad, and you're like you're trying to heal up, you get a week. I get it. Like, okay, cool. But let's drop the act. Like I'll tell you what though. You want to know my sort of my theory?
Yeah.
On I think the NBA has a huge chance to turn it around.
Yeah.
And that's by basically shaming the NBA players and saying, right now, as we're speaking, the women are putting out a much better product.
Yeah.
I watched that Unrivaled one-on-one tournament.
Yeah.
I was edge of your seat.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are a basketball fan, that is one of the greatest basketball things I've seen.
Yeah.
Maybe since Vince Carter won the slam dunk contest.
I haven't seen it, but yeah.
It's so the Unrivaled League, it's not the WNBA. It's like an offshoot of the WNBA. It's like a 3-on-3 league with the WNBA players.
Okay.
And what they did was they had a one-on-one tournament where they had brackets, like the March Madness or whatever, and basically the WNBA All-Stars, like Brianna Stewart, and they played a legit one-on-one, I think to 7 or 11, I can't remember which one, but a legit one-on-one tournament. And I think the winning prize was like $250,000 or whatever. But the bragging rights, they were absolutely killing it.
I love it.
And you could tell it wasn't like we're just I want to look Brianna, who got shut out, lost like 7-0. Brianna Stewart, you're the best. No. I'm the fucking best.
Yeah.
And they went to town, and it was so much fun to watch. So much fun to watch. And I think what you got to do is you got to tell the NBA guys, look, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. You guys, you talk all the what we're gonna one-on-one, a one-on-one bracket.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's something in there that's really appealing, because I think as we you're seeing the NBA kind of do this more of a soccer model where you have the mid-season tournament in, so that when you're talking about your legacy, or you're talking about what your career is, you can really point to it and be like, I was the in-season tournament champion there, I was the all-star one-on-one champion there, I was I think that they're just they are in a spot where there is a ton of worry about, is the NBA healthy overall as a league? Are we losing our viewers just checking out highlight clips or whatever? And you have this opportunity to be like, hey, this is our chance to showcase what a great league we are, what great talent we have. And instead of that,
you're trying to play it safe, right?
You're like eating a chicken wing and just not really trying.
You're looking at your analytics, and you're looking at your viewers, and you're checking your social media. The thing about it is, when you have when you're the NBA, you drag people to where you are. You don't make things that you think other people are going to want to see. Like, you don't make songs that you think other people want to hear. You make songs that sound good to you, and you pull people to you. You know what I mean? At least that's. I mean, I think to me that's the difference between like an album I'll listen to and like just kids bop shit. You know what I mean? Like, I want a song that you really put your ass into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're gonna come listen to this.
Yeah.
And I just think I'm waiting for that NBA moment where they finally say, "Look, we're done with like what we think the Facebook crowd wants to see. We're gonna do something cool."
You just can't have it both ways. You can't be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be really mad if I don't get an All-Star game." Nod.
Right.
But then I'm also just not going to try. Like, that means that you just...
Well, that's the thing.
You want it, but you don't have respect for it.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing with the one-on-one tournament format is you're kind of forcing guys like shit to get off the pot. Okay, LeBron, Okay,
Yeah,
you're an
yeah,
all-star.
yeah.
So now it's you and John Morant.
You would have
To
some
11.
crazy stuff. Like if it was like Jokic versus Steph Curry in a one-on-one, like that is so crazy.
100%.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if I was going to say, like, if you look at the all-star team, tell me who the best one-on-one player is. I mean, who do
Kyrie,
you got?
I'd say Kyrie.
See, I Kyrie, but I would say I would never want to play Kyrie.
No.
Because I think that the crazy part about that is it's who can play defense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Because
true. Well, if it's
not
winners,
stopping anybody.
but if it's winners, then
You got to play. You got to try to play
once.
defense.
You got to get ball once.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, to me, a guy like Kevin Durant is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he can theoretically.
Jason Tatum. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, just even talking about, we could talk for an hour.
I would love nothing more. It would just could just be the entire podcast.
Just the entire podcast.
I would love
the
it so much.
greatest one-on-one player in the NBA?
I would love it because like there was like Kyrie. The reason I say Kyrie is because there was a couple cool moments in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
One was Victor blocking a shot, which was I loved it.
Sure.
Because it's like nobody does that. He did it. And the other one was Kyrie getting up for a self oop, like off the backboard. And I was like, I didn't know you could get up like that.
Yeah, look. He has probably got the deepest bag for sure of any
33
player.
years old.
I mean, he's crazy. I just and the thing about it is I feel like in a one-on-one format, he would probably show you so much more.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that he's just not doing in a 5-on-5 game.
Well, and then you'd have like players who are trying to be cool about it, but then it's like Jokic is like, I don't care about looking cool, I back you down and win. And like, okay, then all of a sudden what are you gonna do with that? Like when you're down 5-0 and you're trying to cross him over, but you can't do it.
Yeah, you got to figure.
Jaylen Brown just won't be able to dribble. He's just going off his knee, just like. But he keeps getting it back on defense. It'd be great.
No, I just think, and again, this would solve the problem. Like you can't hide in a one-on-one game. You know what I mean? If you show up, you put on your uniform. It's not like you can just piss around. And no, you gotta like you're gonna have your minute. Your game. You got to bring it, or you're gonna be embarrassed. You're gonna embarrass yourself.
Because the entire concept of an All-Star game is to see amazing players in a context that you wouldn't be able to see them normally.
That's exactly right.
And that's the problem. Like with the dunk contest, you had 4 dunkers who I would posit you could pick one team in the NBA that has 4 better dunkers than those dunkers that competed.
You could.
If you could have a better dunk contest than any random NBA practice, something is going wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I know that they would never do it, but I mean, I'm almost like just a random select. Like, we're just going to randomly select 8 NBA players, and you're mandatory. You got to come show.
It's part of the bargaining agreement. I'm sorry. You got it. You have to do it.
Your number gets called. All right.
You just got to.
Practicing.
Yeah. All right. All-Star game sucks. Cool. So
it did though, man. It was terrible.
It was awful though.
It was terrible.
And the thing is my kid, he so desperately wants it to be cool. He's a huge fan of the NBA and he wants it so bad. So he made us watch it. He made us like sit through this interminable commercial break to see who got the MVP.
Yeah.
And I was like, it doesn't matter, but I realized for him it really does. And
it did for me.
Yeah.
When I was that age, but again, they played more real games.
It was different. Yeah. You watch Vince Carter and like he didn't need like 15 attempts. He just dunked. He just did his dunks.
Look, it's so funny. I remember I was in my when that Vince Carter dunk contest was 2000, right?
Something like that.
I was in an apartment with a friend of mine. I remember it, and I remember sitting there watching it.
Yeah.
And it was at one point looking at him and being like, just sort of acknowledging, like, we're watching history. Like, this is something that is different. Yeah. This is something that is good. Like, this is a thing. Yeah. We're seeing in real time.
Yeah.
We know it's a thing, and it's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And so to see, first of all, to think that was 25 years ago, it's like, goddamn, my knees hurt. But like, just to sort of see them
just thinking about it, your knees.
Yeah, just absolutely.
I need an ice pack.
Yeah, just
I need an ice pack just to think about it.
25 years ago.
Oh.
But to have that as like the gold standard and just know that there have been a couple of times where it's kind of come close.
Yeah.
We have gone, I mean, quiet as kept. The year Anthony Simons won.
Yeah.
It was like a layup line. Like what are we even doing? What are we even doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to know my unified theory on just basically anything cool?
Yeah.
And we kind of talked about it. Like Kevin Hart. If Kevin Hart's showing up, it's probably not cool.
Uh-huh.
But for me,
that's your unified theory.
It is. If I see Peyton Manning, whoa.
So your unified theory, cool.
Peyton Manning. If I see Peyton Manning in anything, it's the dorkiest shit ever.
Sure.
and he was there. Like, if you let Peyton Manning talk,
Yeah.
you know, and if you combine Peyton Manning and Kevin Hart and Shaq, it's just going to be terrible because the people who make these shows are like, oh yeah, the kids really love Peyton Manning. It's like the Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Are you into Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so they had their big 50th anniversary.
Yeah, I watched some of the clips. Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. There was a clip I saw, just a clip of Eddie Murphy. Did you see this one?
Yeah, where he's pretending to be Tracy Morgan.
Yeah. The Black Jeopardy. And so I saw this clip of Eddie Murphy pretending to be Tracy Morgan in front of Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
It's fucking hysterical.
It's so funny, yeah.
James Earl Jones is my bite. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. You've got Eddie Murphy and you've got Tracy Morgan. You've got, I mean, just that.
Yeah.
How can you fuck that up? But they managed to fuck it up. Because I watched the whole skit and it was terrible. It was like meandering, and they were, but again, like who was there? Peyton Manning was there.
Well, he wasn't in the clip.
He wasn't in that clip, but he was. They let him talk.
He was in the building, so he made the whole thing.
Yeah, because they gave him like a little cameo and like another skit where he got to be heard. Peyton. No, he fucked it. He's like he's the energy vampire. How can you have Eddie Murphy and Tracy Morgan and still have a terrible skit?
Another way to look at it.
How can you not land that plane?
Well, another way to look at it is that the strength of Tracy Morgan and Eddie Murphy almost pulled it off.
Maybe that's the way to look at it. Like something just irredeemable, and they tried to save it, but no, it went belly up like that fucking plane in Georgia or whatever.
There's like a line, right? Like in some of those skits, there's a line, right? Because like if you have Kenan Thompson doing the side eye laugh. With the audience, like there's a amount of it that's okay.
Yeah,
but it gets to a point where it's too much, and like I feel like the All-Star game is like they're all sort of like in on the joke, like too much.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And
it's like they try to over-engineer.
Yeah,
you take because what's absolutely hilarious is watching Eddie Murphy go a little bit off script and break Tracy Morgan. Yeah. If it happens naturally, that's
exactly
hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
But if it's one of those things where we all know going in that the joke is like, oh, I'm going to make Jimmy Fallon laugh, that's not funny. Yeah. And it seems like a lot of those skits, it's just like 12 minutes of like, okay, guys, okay, let's laugh at ourselves.
Yeah.
And the All-Star game feels like that to me.
Yeah, it does. It feels like that.
Yeah. It's like, okay, instead of like having like everyone's going to bust their ass, and then you have these like amazing, like, oh my God, like Kyrie just did a 360 off the backboard in the middle of a competitive game.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's watch Nikola Jokic fart. Oh, okay.
Well, it's especially a disservice for small market teams because when you are a fan of a small market team and you think your guy's legit, and then they go to the All-Star game, you're like, okay, he's going to go toe to toe with these and I mean, I was like legitimately like tickled when LeBron picked Damian like a few years ago, and like those kind of things matter because you're not in the limelight. And then on the other side, if you're a Lakers fan, you're thinking, okay, like LeBron's the dude. Let's see him go against these young upcomers and see how he does. But they just don't do it.
No.
Anyway, we're coming back from All-Star break. The Blazers say they want to win. What is your perfect end of the season?
They don't win a single game.
Okay. I'm going to need more specifics.
Just absolutely goose egg it from here on out.
Chauncey doesn't show up because he has like food poisoning or something.
Just fire him now. And I mean, I know that but like fire Chauncey. Just basically like shut down Jeremy Grant, shut down Anthony Simons, let the kids play, don't win a game. At this point, I'm not even sure, even if they lost the rest of the games, if they could get like the number one. I think they're because wasn't the Wizards are just historically bad. So, but it's a loaded draft.
You got
like 15 guys in this upcoming draft.
And you need to swim in the waters because like Atlanta got the number one pick last year. You just got to be close.
In the
middle. And I think like one of the more like befuddling decisions of Chauncey's tenure is that he benched Shaedon Sharpe to get him to try harder on defense or whatever it was. And wherever you are on that, I'm happy to agree or disagree. I honestly don't care because he did try and all these things. But what I don't like is the fact that he continues to bench Shaedon Sharpe as if this were a competitive fucking basketball team. Shaedon Sharpe, if you are that age, and it's your third year in the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Starting means a lot.
Yes, it does.
And Chauncey's just like, no, even when they had injuries, he's like, I'm going to start Jabari Walker.
I want to really know what's going on with Chauncey's relationship with Jabari Walker.
Yeah.
Because he gets buried on the bench for the first 3 months of the season, and then out of the blue he starts. Like, what do you? And,
you know who knows about that relationship?
Who's that?
Jabari's therapist.
Well, probably so. Probably
he's like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it, Sam. What's going on?
I mean, they've just been I also want to point out that look, Jabari Walker is also not a great defender, but he's one of their most efficient offensive players. Like every time he gets more than 10 minutes, it's like, oh, he did 12 and 10. You know,
he has a really high motor. He gets rebounds and
I mean, I just don't. But no, the Shaedon Sharpe thing is, and I understand. The thing about it is, up to the trade deadline, I understand. Let's play Jeremy 40 minutes. Let's play Anthony. You know, because we're trying to create some some little spice to get a trade.
You're staging the home.
You're staging
the cookies in the oven.
That's right. Yeah, exactly right. You got to do that. But okay, they're here.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, why are we still giving Jeremy?
What are we doing?
What do we do? Yeah. There's nothing left to say. He's here. Just let him come off the bench. Yeah. Let Anthony come off the bench. Yeah. Rotate it around a little bit because Anthony knows he's a starting guard in the NBA. Jeremy knows he's a starting wing in the NBA. Those guys don't have to prove it. Like there's tape. Any team that may want to trade for them in the offseason, there's tape. Yeah. They know what's going on. They know what they're getting at this point.
Known commodities.
But a guy like Shaedon, especially, you can tell, benching him had an effect. Shaedon is still a terrible defender. Benching him had an effect. But now you bring him back and you get him, because he got benched. And then they played him, he had a couple of decent games. And then he kept coming off the bench. And he started, he looked, you could see the trepidation.
Yeah,
you can see on his face he's just not quite sure. His confidence is blown.
Yeah,
and
well, we have a game tonight against the reeling Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh,
just a terrible trade, it turns out. They have a resounding losing record since that horrible trade of theirs. So we'll probably beat them handily tonight.
I'm sure we will.
And,
well, the thing is,
I
mean, if they don't do the sneaky benching of LeBron, because that was a problem the last time.
Yeah.
Oh, we game plan for LeBron to play, and he didn't play, so he threw us off.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that was Laurie marketing. Yeah. We had a whole thing set up for Laurie.
Yeah.
And then Laurie got benched, and we didn't know what to do with Joe Smo.
Had to throw the entire game plan now.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to break some news on this pod.
Uh-oh.
My friend went to an event that his company put on for him.
Okay.
And Donovan Clingan and Toumani Camara were the guests of honor.
I see.
Okay. They asked them what their favorite restaurant in Portland is.
Oh, man.
Can you guess what their favorite restaurant was?
Okay.
So
Donovan Clingan.
It's an Italian restaurant.
An Italian restaurant?
It is.
Really?
Yeah.
Amalfi's?
No.
That's a deep Portland cut. A lot of people don't know about that.
Well, okay, I should say this.
Olive Garden?
They said what
Cheesecake Factory.
It's Portland City Grill. Portland City Grill is their favorite restaurant.
What is he? What?
So that's the one that
a Honda salesman from 2007.
That's what
are we talking about?
That's
here?
What they recommended.
Oh my god!
Because somebody asked, what kind of food do you like Italian? And then, okay, so where would you recommend? And they said Portland City Grill, which I'm not sure is totally Italian.
I would not. I mean, listen, I have not been there since I stopped doing cocaine. First of all, I'm just joking. Kids don't do drugs. I've never done cocaine. I would never do. Don't.
I thought you were going to say high school prom or something.
No, I legitimately have not been there since probably 2003. And the fact that the FBI has not shut that place down is really remarkable. I mean, that's kind of crazy. And poor Donovan Clingan, you can't be sending Donovan Clingan to Portland City Grill. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Toumani, for sure.
Yeah.
You see Toumani's probably got his own reserved booth in there.
Well, because he knows he can't act like a normal human being.
No.
So he has to go to a chain where they're not going to kick him out.
Exactly right.
Yeah, and you're still going to
grill. Incredible.
Well, it's not a chain though. All right, well, that's why you come here for those kind of crazy news breaks. Let's see how this goes.
If Toumani's responded with "I only eat raw potatoes," I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm okay."
Yeah, I'd be like, imagine if he ate protein.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, what if he got some smoothies? Like, what?
What if he tried a steak?
Yeah, he'd be unstoppable. Second coming of Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, that's
one
right.
steak inside him. He'd have to leave at halftime to go take a giant. Okay,
All right, here we
go.
All roads.
Thanks to
Get
Puma
this
Distortion.
man some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
A Blazers podcast.